Now, I've mentioned a couple times that you can look stuff up on the periodic table, so we probably ought to talk a little bit about the information you'll find on the periodic table. And this is just an intro. We're going to dive deeper into the periodic table next unit. Um, but I want to talk a little bit about what all these numbers are for, the basic stuff you can find on the periodic table. Okay, so here is a square, a basic element square from the periodic table of hydrogen. Okay, so the things you'll find on every single one are the atomic number. Okay, so that's that number up here to the top right. This is our atomic number, which is also the number of protons. So immediately when you find an element on the periodic table, you know its atomic number, you know how many protons are in the nucleus of that element. Okay, so atomic number is the number of protons. Here for hydrogen is just one. So if you have a nucleus with one proton, it is a hydrogen. And in an electrically neutral atom, so one that doesn't have charge, your number of protons is going to be equal to the number of electrons. So not only do you know you find your element on the periodic table, you know the atomic number, you know the name of the element, and you know how many electrons it has when it's not charged. Okay. Then you have the symbol. Okay, so here's your symbol. For hydrogen, it's just an H. Symbol's either going to be one or two letters. If it's one letter, it will be one capital letter. If it's two letters, it's going to be a capital and a lowercase. For hydrogen, it's just one letter, H. Okay, so there's your atomic number. There's your symbol. All right. Now, it's this number at the bottom. Okay, so I mentioned before that there is not, the mass number does not show on the periodic table. Okay. Mass number is particular to a specific atom, and there are different isotopes of each element. So if I had a sample of hydrogen, I'd have some hydrogens with a mass number of 1, I'd have some with a mass number of 2, and even some with a mass number of 3. And the ratio of how much of each of those you get is just something that is the way it is because of the Big Bang and because of the way stars are. So it's something that we have to measure. What this number is down at the bottom is the average atomic mass of all the hydrogens that we've measured, right? So if we took a big sample of hydrogen, on average, their their mass number would be 1.01. So very close to 1, which means that most of those hydrogens' mass number is 1. Okay. So here we have, so it's the average atomic mass. It's the average of all the different isotopes of an element. Okay. And whatever the number you see, this average atomic mass on the periodic table, whatever whole number it's closest to is the most common isotope of that element. So like I said, with hydrogen here, it is just one, hydrogen 1. If we wanted to write that with our nuclear notation, it would be like this. Just 1 is the most common. Right, and there we have the hyphen form of hydrogen 1. All right, so this is what the basic stuff you'll find on the periodic table. And like I said, you can also always reference the periodic table. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. Even on tests and quizzes, I'll have copies of the periodic table for you. There's a big stack of them in the room right now, and there's one included in your handout for this lesson. All right, so it's a really, really useful tool. If you know how to use the periodic table, you get lots of information from it.